So let's now talk about how we're gonna add the home page sections inside our code. I'm running my GitHub code over here. So we have the design, so we have the header, we have the announcement bar. So let's start by making that look the same. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy the color over here. So the color is this one. So I'm gonna go back to my announcement bar here, and I will change the color to make it look the same. Okay, and the text, I will make it to be black or darker. Okay, so something like this, right? And I will save it. And we can, if you want to add like more settings here, it's really up to you. So to make this change to be like to not change when I restart my server, I'm gonna again do Shopify theme pull, and we're going to pull. So press yes, and we're going to pull from the development because we are doing all these things so far locally. Okay, perfect. And now let's add the euro section. So again, for just practicing, I will go back to my GitHub and I will click on source and I will look for index.html, and inside here we're going to look for the first code as the euro image. So you have the euro image here. So you know what, let me turn this to look like VS Code, so it's like much simple to see. So just add one S before the .com. Yeah, so we have the index. So I will just copy this section here. So it is inside the euro image and euro image here. So I'm gonna cut or just copy, and we're gonna go back to our VS Code. Inside the sections, we do have a euro that's liquid over here. So I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna paste the code I just copied, and I will save it. Perfect. So now we need to go to the template directory, and inside the template we need to go to the index.json. all right, so and we already created the euro settings ID, okay, and the type as well. And you know what you're gonna do, you're gonna remove this collection for now because we don't need it, and also go to remove the collection that's liquid file, we don't need it for now. So just keep the euro. Perfect. And now we're going to create the settings for the euro. Okay, so if I go back to my codes now, and as you can see we have an error, so collection must exist. So we forgot to remove the collection inside the order. Let's remove it. So let's save it, and then we are good to go. We have images here and we have our euro section, but it's not appearing yet. So what we need to do first, we need to create, let's go back to euro that's liquid. Let me close all these other pages for now. Yeah, save it. And inside the euro that's liquid, just below, we're going to create the schema. Okay, and the schema going to accept a name. We're gonna call it euro, and we're gonna give it, let's say, a class of euro as well, and we're gonna give it a, let's say, a disable on, because we don't want it to be available on the header or the footer. So I'm gonna use the group one. You can also use the template if you don't want this euro to appear on the product page, for example. Okay, so we want it to be disabled for the header and also for the footer. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. I have no error. Great. So let's continue. We're gonna give it, let's say, a tag. So we want it to be a tag of header. All right, and then we're gonna give it for now settings. Okay, and we can also give it for now blocks, just for adding that. I'm gonna explain a bit later. And now you must give it a preset. So if you don't give it a preset, you can't add this section inside your code. Let me show you how. I'm going to save it for now. We have no error, but before to continue, let me explain a couple of stuff here. So the class, it's set to euro. If you go back to your code, if I inspect what we have here, you're going to see that we have a section here, and it has the class of a euro over here. The class is over here. You can use it to target this section. About the tag it's set to header because we set it like this, and the header is over here. If I don't set this tag attribute here, it's going to be div by default. If I refresh, if I go back here, I need to find it. If I go back to main, to div, so you see it's replaced by main. If you want to add like a tag, it's up to you. I will leave mine to be header. Alright, so let's talk about the preset. In other videos, we did not add the preset because we were adding this section, files directly inside our header and footer. But inside the template here, if you want, you can reference directly the section here as we did for the euro. Okay, but let's say in a case I did not reference the euro like this. If I remove it and I save it, let me remove the order as well. So if I save it like this, and if I go back, there is no euro anymore. So I need a way to give the merchants the possibility to add and to remove, because it's going to be like this when they are in their website. They can remove some sections and they want to be able to add some section as well. Okay, we can do the same for the header group, even for the footer group. That's really up to us. So how to make it possible to add and to remove? We need to go to the euro and use the preset. So the preset accept an object. You need to give it first a name. So the name could be any name you want. Okay, but make sure that it looks like the name that you have here. It's not mandatory, just to make it to have more sense. And it accepts also a settings, okay, and also blocks, even a category later on. Okay, so yeah, so you can leave this block empty if you want to, and inside these settings you're going to reference every ID that you set inside the settings array. Okay, but for now you can leave it to be empty. And if I save it, let's check the terminal, we have no error. And let's go back to our development store, and if I refresh, so far no problem. And inside the template directory here, if I click on add section, and now you can see we have the euro over here. Okay, so I can add it, and then we're gonna have the euro appearing like this. Okay, so the preset helping the merchants to add and to remove section as they wish.